Hi guys, this is Dr. Marva, and today I'm virtually at the City of Temples, that is Bhubaneswar, and I am really honored with two special people with me, Dr. Sparsh and Dr. Sai Fanindra, who has secured a awesome rank. So I let him do the talking for today.
Thank you, sir. I am Sai Fanindra. I did my MBBS in AIMS Bhubaneswar. I got a rank 13 in this INICET exam. I think internship was little hectic here, so most of my preparation was from this January itself. So,
I understand. I mean, due to COVID, even the exam was postponed. So
yes, sir.
So I think like everybody else, like let's have an honest answer from your side. I mean, how did you cope up? Because I understand there would have been distractions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With each postponement, it feels like actually I took a few breaks in between. So after exam gets postponed, I'll take myself a day off, and I to watch movies, and then I'll get back the next day itself. So it used to be it'll give me that kind of push. Okay, we can do it. We just have to keep on going. That is all required. So
I think that is a very pertinent point that has been raised by Dr. Sai. One, that unlike a lot of people, I normally, just go in for the YouTube videos where people brag about the fact that they have studied for 365 days a year without taking a break and so. But Dr. Sai has been actually honest to say that yes, he took a break. That's one thing. That is going to, kind of replenish all your depleted mental energy. And the second more important thing is, I mean, firstly, whenever I took a break, I always had that natural tendency of extending my breaks. But as he very rightly pointed out, that he used to come back, even though he said that he used to watch movies, but then he used to come back the next day and get into the grind again. So both the things are equally important. To have a break is important, and then to get back to your routine, academics is also equally important. Dr. My personal question, how does it feel actually to get your rank in under 100? I would say a single digit, or for that matter, double digit rank. To me, all of your achievers. You see,
yes, sir, absolutely true, sir. Actually, getting under 100 is a little. It is somewhat based on luck also, because 20 questions will be there in the exam, which we have to take that leap. Like we have to decide among two options, which is the right one, which we feel. So sometimes it may happen that we may make some mistakes there. Like what I feel may be different from others. So it's just 2 or 3 questions that decides the difference. So especially names, that is true.
I think this is going to be a wonderful, I would say continuation of your professional career, coming from AIMS and then going into AIMS again. So,
yes, sir.
Which of the different AIMS is going to be getting luckier by having a wonderful student like you?
Actually, I am deciding to take NIMHANS, neurosurgery seats.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, 6-year course is there.
That's amazing. That's amazing, really. Now, Dr. Sai, as a lot of people would have this kind of a query, I mean, you see, all of us are having situations and subjects wherein some of our subjects are, we are really good at them. So some cricketers are good at, a hook shot, somebody would be good on the offside, some would be good on the onside.
Yes,
so what were the subjects that you were really strong in, and how did you manage the subjects that were not so good?
Sir, my strong subjects were patho, medicine and surgery. Physiology, though it is a competitive exam, but patho, medicine and surgery, I used to, whenever I do I give tests and all, we get an analysis. So every time I used to get as a strong subject, I used to get patho, pharma, medicine and surgery. So most of the questions from in the exam will be from these subjects. So I think I had an advantage there.
That's so very true. I think that is going to be the trend which is likely to continue even with the changing in the pattern of the examination as well. So fundamental subjects which are helping in the formation of a strong foundation, let's say like pharmacology or pathology, would help you ace the bigger subjects like medicine and surgery, and people are going to be like very comfortable. How about the subjects
yes,
you are a bit not so comfortable with? The Achilles
mostly short subjects, sir. We won't have a third year exam. We should not have a third year exam. So we used to read off the ENT, PSM. We used to have in the final year. So it will be compiled with surgery itself. So we used to have even for profs exam, we used to have surgery. Along with surgery, we used to have these short subjects. So there is to not have much importance, like there is no that kind of field to study those subjects. So if we are good at surgery, we'll anyways pass the exam. So short subjects were really difficult for me.
No,
And
look, yeah, I would just like to interrupt here by simply asking you the fact that, like, this previous 3 months, like, how many hours were you studying per day? Because that's a pertinent question. What sir has put up important subjects. So, like, how many hours per day were you putting in?
sir, it varied, sir. Actually, initially I started with short subjects only in
Okay.
January when I started preparation. So then I used to read like 8 hours to 10 hours per day. But slowly after April, when the NEET postponed and then AIMS postponed, it reduced. It reduced to like 6 hours. Some days it used to like 4 hours, 4 hours only. But later on, when the exam came near in July, I used to read again. I picked up. I used to read like 10 hours per day.
Okay, that's inclusive of MCQs and theory, or like it's only
Yes, sir.
the
Yes,
theory?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Both inclusive.
Okay, so that was the total productive time. I mean, hours could be a little more,
Yes,
but
sir.
then the productivity was approximately 10 hours.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sometimes, like I know my friends or some people will be like just sitting in front of books, but they may not be reading properly. Like they won't be concentrating on it. Like along with social media, or they'll be, you know, uh, they'll be reading along with music. And but I feel like we should concentrate some time just for reading. Like there is a lot of analysis part while we read. We have to know while reading what are the high yield topics here, and when we do MCQs, we have to analyze what mistake we did. And most of the times, wrongs will always be wrongs. Once we did a mistake, when we come across the same question, again we'll be making the same mistake. So it is really important from our side that we should know why we did it wrong, and we need to understand. We need to clear our concepts there only. So that next time we shouldn't be doing wrong from those topics.
So if you got a question wrong, then what you used to do? I mean, steps that Dr. Sai was using, like suppose you are using the app, like in Prep Ladder, maybe you're doing a custom
Yes, sir.
module and some
Yes,
question
sir.
went
Yes,
wrong.
sir.
Then what were the steps that you were taking on that same day?
Sir, for few subjects, especially like biochem and few subjects, I used to take note of those topics, sir. So I used to keep that in this week I'll complete these topics, and then I'll revisit those topics again. And there is a good feature in Prep Ladder ki whenever we do in a Q bank, whenever we do some questions wrong, we can reattempt them. So we can take those questions again. Sometimes when I redo the questions, then I'll understand. Okay, this I thought that time I did wrong. Like I thought like this. So then I will know that what mistake I have done. And most of the times it will feel easy from those topics whenever I did.
Yes. So what was the reason for maximum number of wrongs? I mean, was it silly mistakes or was it lack of knowledge? I mean, how would you put it? Most of the time.
It varies according to some subjects. When I was in my like a weak subjects, most of the time it is a lack of knowledge only.
Okay.
Sometimes I may not understand the question properly, like what the examiner is asking me. So it is necessary that we have to think. We have to see the question through examiner's eyes. So it is really important that way. Maybe there will be in any exam there will be like one or two questions which will definitely do wrong. Like we won't be reading except in the end, or double negative thing. So those things, yeah, it may happen. Like one or two questions, it will happen with everyone. So we should keep it to minimum anyways. That is required to be kept minimum.
Over to you, sir.
Dr. Sai, being a second professional, I would say educator, a lot of people actually ask me that kind of a query. So I think you people, being the young guns and the recent achievers, are in the best position to answer that question for me. What do you think is the best way for going about the preparation part of it? I mean, when do you think is the ideal time a candidate or a med school student should start his or her preparation? I mean, is it in the final year, the pre-final, the second year, or the first year itself? I'm surprised to get that kind of a query now from the people in the first year. I mean, Sometimes I am just being the in charge of that admission process, and the guy I'm just writing and registering his name in the med school register, and the guy comes up and asks me, sir, prep ladder से कैसे पढ़ना है sir, guide कर दो अभी. I mean, I'm like, man, celebrate this time. So can you just throw some light on it?
True.
Yeah, we have good academics here, sir, in AIMS Bhubaneswar. So I didn't take any platform. I didn't rely on any platform. I used to just read textbooks, and I used to listen classes, and it used to be enough. But I would say PrepLadder is like the best platform for coaching, like to know where the questions are coming from. Just for preparation purpose, PrepLadder is really awesome. The notes are very concise and up to the point. You will know when reading notes, we'll know that, okay, especially this is true with micro and FMT. Sonu Panwar sir's notes, it is so concise and so high yield. Every point there is important. It is really awesome. I don't think I'll be right person to answer this question if I'm doing my second year relying on any platform. But I think it will be very good to those people who are doing who are studying MBBS in some private medical college or some institutes where the academics are not so good.
So I would rather say that the credit of the good academics at AIMS Bhubaneswar has to be given to Madam Batamani. At the same time, I would also like to just ask that simple query.
Sure.
For that matter, any subject that you're going to be preparing in, I mean, is it good to start off with by watching the videos? Let's say first off, you watch the PrepLadder video first and then read it from the book, or you go through the book first and then go through the PrepLadder video. I mean, which is a better way?
Ideal way will be to do the videos first and then concurrently read the note and then do the Q bank. But I didn't had that opportunity, sir. I had only a few months in my hand to do it. So whenever I wanted to watch any video, I used to watch a rapid revision only. So only those topics I am not very much comfortable with, I used to go for the video series. Especially some high yield topics. In pharmacology, we used to have this CNS drugs, antidepressants, antipsychotics. They are very high yield. Definitely some questions will be coming from those areas. And it is worth to watch those video series for those topics. But remaining, I used to watch from a rapid revision only. It is more than enough.
So I think it is also like having a concurrence of almost every topper year or year when they talk about the rapid revision being the real gold standard stuff for the purpose of revision.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is even in last, if we have even, for those who want to revise in last 1 month, they can just start with the rapid revision series. They can complete it within a week's time, and then they can the MCQs in rapid revision are very high.
In fact, that almost partly kind of answers my next question. I was just about to ask you, now that some people have got decent enough ranks, I would say, maybe not the rank that they were expecting, but then as we always talk about the fact that we need to look at the positive side of things, and now we still have the time for them to appear properly for the NEET PG exam. So
yes, sir.
with you as, let's say, their mentor, what is the right advice that you would give for them to boost them up, to pump them up for having a decent rank in the NEET PG exam in the last these few
Sir,
days?
always, sir, we have to surround the common suspects kind of thing. We have to read those topics or those subjects, the high yield subjects. So we cannot go to an exam without reading first year or second year subjects. Even a single subject cannot be missed from first year and second year. They are very high yield. Even if we are thorough with our first year and second years, we can even answer some of the final year topics from medicine and surgery. But first year and second year are must. We should not make many mistakes from these 2 year subjects. So it is good to start with those subjects. Then once we attend this, then the obs gynae and surgery, some part of surgery which need to be seen for the exam, and PSM. I think most chunk of the questions will be coming from these subjects. Like more than 100 questions in 200 will be coming from these subjects.
That's very good.
Only after covering this we can go with further other subjects.
Now with your experience, Dr. Sai, I mean, if I were to kind of just have a kind of a quick rapid fire kind of a thing with you, two things
Okay.
that I would tell students to absolutely avoid in these last, I would say, 50 days of preparation for the NEET PG. Absolutely avoid. Just don't do it. I mean, they would follow you like, somebody actually coming to, as they would say, the God.
Avoiding is
Just don't do it. I mean, blanket.
sir, we should have few friends, but there will be some people who will be discouraging us. I think we should keep them away. And
Okay.
second most thing, we should keep some of our recreational activities to minimum.
So
So
cut down on the
we
social
can
media, cut down on the recreational activity, and then just
they,
show
they
a
just
true to
have
the.
to keep going. That is very important. I used to make use of some news sessions. Praveen Tripathi sir used to come up with this, and sir will be telling, don't convert a bad morning into a bad day. So sir says, if you don't want to read when you start in the morning, and if you don't feel like reading, just okay, don't read. And at least afternoon you can start. In the evening you can start. You can have some time in the day when you can come back and read. So you should not just I don't feel like reading. I'll take this complete day off. So we have to just keep going, sir. That is very important.
So as we commonly say, showing the shoe to the naysayers. So people who are having the negative attitude, just stay away from them and then utilizing every minute. I mean, just reiterating that fact in a different way that you've got 1,440 minutes. So even if you waste 30 minutes in the morning, that doesn't mean that you cannot utilize the remaining 14, 30
Yes,
minutes.
sir.
No?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's absolutely true. And three things that you would like to emphasize on must do things in these
Revise, sir. Revision is very important. That is one single formula for getting good rank. So there will be some urge to read something new, like something we didn't cover inside. Like, okay, I didn't still do this, I didn't still do this. But we have to respect what we have read. So we have to keep revising those topics. Many people, like many of my seniors and friends who got good ranks, they used to do it in a scheduled basis. Like every week, whatever they read, they used to revise it at the end of the week. But I used to do it in a subject wise manner. So I used to have small flashcards and all, which I tend to forget, and then I'll come back once I complete a subject. Then I'll go on with I'll revise once. I'll go on further to another subject. Once it is done, then I'll try to complete these two subjects. Like I try to revisit these two subjects. And it is very important. Like if I start a subject today in this month, like the first of the month, by the end of the month, it is likely that I'll forget what I have read on the first day of the month. So it is better to have this, quick revisions on a timely basis. A revision is one thing that will decide rank. So we'll get some feeling like when we are giving the exam, sometimes we'll see the question and we know, no, I have seen this question, I know this question, I have read this topic, but I couldn't recall. This should happen. The revision, if we are thoroughly revised, this doesn't happen much.
So as we normally talk about, I normally talk about that particular thing in my class when I talk about, revise. So I say read and become more wise.
Yes,
Every
sir,
time you're reading that thing again and again, that is making you wiser.
Yes,
and
sir,
obviously,
yes,
wiser person in any domain, any sphere of life is likely to outperform the other.
Yes, sir. And actually, it increases the application capacity. When we read a topic for 2 or 3 times, sometimes we'll just link this topic to some other thing. Like even if the question is remotely related to it, we can come up with an answer with a basic common sense. And yeah, that is it. We have to revise and revise. That's very important.
Great, Doc. It's been
the
very
MIB sessions.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted
The
you.
MIB. Sir, with each postponement, we used to have the preparator used to come up with these MIB sessions. Men in Black and Garg sir and Apur sir will be coming, and they'll say, okay, don't lose it. You have come so long, so it just only you have to just travel some more distance. That's it. You can make through it. And certain things which they emphasize, it really happens with us. When exam is approaching, we tend to call our friends and just we'll be little anxious and we'll be talking about something. How are you doing? What are you preparing? What do you want to prepare? Like what do you want to revise in the end? So we'll tend to waste a lot of time in it.
Okay.
So They are absolutely true. They are like the golden words. When they used to come up with MIB sessions, I used to never miss those sessions. It was very nice.
They are definitely the stars in the proprietary galaxy, my friend.
It's like coaching with the prep ladder was really nice. It is a nice experience. Like the support they give us and rapid revision. It was awesome, sir. Rapid revision, the thing you came up with. Now simulations have come, prep ladder simulations, the T&D sessions, and the previous questions, the video series of the previous questions. When I started, I used to watch for each subject. I used to watch those videos first, so that I know the areas which are covered from those subjects. And most of the time, when a question is taken for further explanation, they used to cover the surrounding parts also. So
Exactly.
at least it was very nice starting with those. I told my friends, like whoever were giving exam and all, like it is better to start with these. You will know what you are reading, like what you should be reading, and it was nice.
I think for the educators also, when they are making that extra effort of going about the additional information, so even coming it from a student like you, it means a lot when we get to know that yes, our effort of making it a wholesome experience for you in Prep Ladder is actually working out and you people are liking it. So that's
Yes,
like
sir.
really
Yes, sir. Actually, I didn't plan actually to give last November exam. I got some 1150 rank. I didn't had any much preparation. I just read from Robbins. I read some patho, and I just touched a few topics and I went for the exam. But most of the paper was clinical, and it was advantageous, at least for me. And but when I started in the January, like proper preparation, I started with the Marrow videos and the past year papers and the topics which I haven't read properly, the short subjects and all. Then I understood like what we should put, like with a limited time we should have a planning where to start and how much to do. Uh, Prep Ladder has got that this thing, like they will teach only those topics which will be tested. Like there are some questions which are like given like so many times, we'll just go through with it. Like you don't need to again think of that in during the exam.
Exactly. It becomes
The
a second nature.
cannula sizes or
that's so true. So now I think shifting the things to the non-academic part of it. How about the people in your family? I mean, how many members are there, and
uh,
are you the first
eh,
generation doctor in your family or second generation or like what?
no, sir, I'm the first doctor from my family. And uh, I have a younger brother. He's pursuing some BBA, business arts and something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So I think it has been actually a very wonderful, I would say, session with you, and do convey our heartiest congratulations to your family as well,
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
and your sibling as well. I think
Thank you, sir.
it means a lot to be the first doctor in the family because you kind of become the torch bearer. And anybody in your extended family, if he wishes to be a doctor, they'll always look up to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think the precedence which has been set in your family has been really wonderful.
Yes, sir.
And obviously, the next time we are visiting anywhere near your center in hand, so we are definitely going to be giving you a shout out. Anytime you are here in Delhi, you are going to be our guest. So do let us know as and when you're coming over here as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sure, sir.
Many congratulations again, Dr. Sai.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Dr. Sai. It was great talking to you.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure meeting you all, sir. My senior, I think I've messaged you. My senior Krishna Reddy, he got a 25th rank in last INISET. He's a great fan of you. He asked me to mention, like, you. I just by hearing this, Marwa sir will be very happy. So
Yes,
just try to tell, like, convey my happiness to him.
Yes, convey my message to him as well. It's great to hear from him again. And yes, I know you all guys are doing great. And I know that our country is having great and brilliant and super intelligent doctors. Great. So we can wind it off. The main strategies, points that you have highlighted are very, very pertinent. and very precise, and that's what we are trying to do. I mean, give precise content, just we are trying to be laser focused so that the exact content that is required is actually given, and then you can implement.
Absolutely, sir. Yes. The notes are so concise, like 160 pages, 150 pages, or 200 pages. They're doable. They can be read. They can be even revised. Even before the exam, the 200 pages, you can just flip through them.
Absolutely.
That is very good.
Absolutely. That's what we want actually, because medical science has to be precise. It cannot be bulky.
Yes, sir.
Great talking to you, Dr. Sai, and my best wishes and blessings to you. Thank you guys for joining this webinar.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye.